book club, podcast club. What's up? Virtual, this is our virtual book club situation that coordinates with our podcast. So today we are going to be discussing A Curse Carved in Bone by Miss Danielle L. Jensen. This is book two, the follow up book in the Unfaded duology series. The first one was A Fate Inked in Blood. I think after a month of this, I think I got it narrowed down. I think I got the hang of the names.
Oh my gosh, I know. I always have the hardest time remembering though.
Yeah, yeah. So, if you haven't read this yet and you just want to chill with us, if you're watching this in replay or whatever, as usual, our first 15 minutes are spoiler free, just like our podcast episode. So feel free to hang out. Liz has her fully caffeinated espresso coffee here at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. I have my
It is not
tea and I
good.
did not. It's not good.
No,
It
it's good.
tastes
It
good
tastes
though. Yeah.
delicious. It's just
Yeah.
it's not gonna keep me awake. It will give me
Yeah.
restless leg syndrome tonight though, is what it'll do.
Great, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
It is what it is.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And then I have green tea tonight. So here, look at we actually here. Cheers. Cheers me. That's great, you guys. Anybody out there drinking, you feel free to
Ooh,
cheers us.
cheers
There
to
you go.
you.
Whatever. Yeah, cheers a bing bong. There you go. So, yes, obviously, this is our very casual section of our podcasting situation. Very just like we want you guys to feel like you can choose your own adventure with our virtual book club, a casual read every month when you guys vote for the books that we are all reading. You can go onto the Fable app and join us there for a spoiler free version of a book club where you can comment per chapter, take as long as you want, or go as fast as you want. Some people are reading these books in one day and they are patiently waiting for this live, which we appreciate so much. And then some of you, like us, kind of sometimes have to, read right before the end of the month. So, thank you guys so much. If you are joining us for the first time, you can follow, subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, but the lives will exclusively be on YouTube. We think from here on out, this is our third time
Hopefully.
doing it. Our first time was great. Everything was totally fine. Second time, I tried doing it from my laptop, and that was not a good idea. So I'm back on my phone. Everything is about the same situation as the first time. So it should be good now. In which case, that will mean for sure it'll stay here. So if you join us later on and you're like, what the heck is happening? You can always watch this on the replay. If you have to peace out because you got responsibilities in life and it is a Wednesday night, we get it. But if you want to hear more about this book, you can check this out. We'll be spoiler free for a little bit longer. We'll let you know when spoilers are coming. So if you just
Yep.
joined us, welcome to our virtual book club. This is what we're going to
Hey
be talking
guys.
about. A Curse Carved in Bone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into Curse Carved in Bone, we just wanted to do a little announcements, a little what's going on the podcast right now for anyone who it's kind of a nice way to wrap everything up once a month. Put a nice little bow on it and be
Hmm.
like, here you go. Here's our podcast
Hmm.
presents to you.
Yeah.
So, our latest episode that just came out yesterday was our kickoff to our new mini episode series covering Anne of Green Gables. So, we
Mm,
had I know, so exciting. We had our intro. So, if you
mhm,
guys have been around a little while, we always do a kickoff episode to kind of set the scene. And so this was an episode letting you guys know kind of why we're covering Anne of Green Gables and kind of getting into why coming of age stories about women and girls are super important and we love them and how they set them up
mhm.
or it set us up to get here with all of our favorite FMCs, like Freya, to tie it back in to Curse Carved in
Mhm.
Bone. She exists
Yeah,
partially because Anne of Green Gables exists. So
yeah.
that was our episode that came out yesterday. And then we will have our first actual mini episode series coming out on Friday covering Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea. So we're doing 2 books
Mhm.
per episode. And that'll be going on for the next 5 weeks, right? Every
Mm,
Friday?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 4
Awesome.
4 episodes covering the books plus the wrap-up episode, books and movies.
The 80s movies that
Yeah.
we all love so much.
Yeah.
Yes. And we also wanted to let you know, thank you so much. If you are here and you are subscribed, tell your friends, tell your mom. We're going to do a gift or a giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers here. And we did
Mhm.
want to say thank you for 4,000 over on Instagram. So that's
Yay!
exciting.
Thank you guys so
Yes,
much for joining us. Yeah.
that's awesome. That way we can do this. We can hang out. We can talk to you guys.
Mhm.
Real quick, we did want to let you know what we're currently reading in August, and we'll mention this a little bit more at the end of our live. But if you guys were interested in getting started for our August book, it's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. So I have my really pretty Fairy Loot copy here. I
Ooh,
know, so
super pretty.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of you guys are familiar with Rachel Gillig at this point because she did write One Dark Window, and so I feel like a
Oh
lot of
my
people
gosh.
love that. Yeah,
I can't believe that I'm not reading that first then.
I know,
I
I know.
need to read One
Well,
Dark Window. It's like
I mean, they're
werewolfy,
not
right?
related. What's that?
No, I know. It's like it's werewolf, something with werewolves or something.
One Dark Window?
No.
I didn't think so,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
maybe.
Well, I
I
feel
don't know.
like people say it's good for like this time of year coming up. So maybe if The
Yeah,
Night and the Moth goes well, or yeah, then One Dark
why
Window.
not?
We need to
Yeah,
finally
I
get
mean,
to.
someday, I know it's like literally been on my TBR since it came out, and everyone was obsessed with
Mm,
it. And I feel like
yeah.
so far, everyone has also been obsessed with The Night and the Moth. And I didn't
Hmm.
realize this. I don't know if this will sway anyone one way or the other, but apparently the MMC is a gargoyle. I didn't see that
Oh, maybe it's
coming.
Gargoyle. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
No?
no, no, this is The Night and the Moth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
had no
mean,
idea.
the first chapter they start talking about gargoyles, so
Oh,
it's
really?
like,
Well, I
oh,
haven't started it yet, so I had no idea.
oh, sorry, spoiler. It's they're
No, I
there
mean,
right away.
that's
Okay,
fine.
that's
So
the
I'm
only
spoiling it
chapter
for
I've
everyone
read
else.
though. I've literally only read one chapter. No, it's like right out the gate, so you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Yep.
what we're reading for August. We have,
Hmm.
Fables, as Ashley was talking about before, for Bestie in the Book Club for The Night and the Moth. And if you guys wanted to hop on to, Curse Carved in Bone. So we've got those. We also have a Fate Inked in Blood. So
Yeah.
I did want to mention that we have a live over on Instagram. We have an older Fable book club for a Fate Inked in Blood. So also, if you're like, dang, I did want to read this, I did want to watch this, but I don't remember anything, you can do what we did and you can watch our stuff to give you a
Yeah,
refresher.
because like literally forgot all of it. Yeah,
Forgot all
a
of it.
year will do that. A year and like 100 books in between.
Yeah, right. So
Yep.
that is also going on. What else do we have? Oh, we have our Crow Month reads. So
Mhm.
just to kind of give you, I just dropped everything. That's okay. Just to give you
Great.
kind of a heads up of what we're reading for Crow Month, which is September. So we will be covering these later. We are reading House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. So
Mhm.
this guy here. And then we're also reading, I believe, because I haven't started this one yet. It's just called Crow by Layla
Okay.
Faye.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain
Easy
it's
to
just called
remember.
Crow. So we're doing one like romanticy crow read and one like smutty kind of fun, silly
Yeah.
crow read.
Possibly unhinged if it's anything like her other books.
Yeah. Which if you guys have been around
Yeah.
here for a while, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Like it better be unhinged at
It
this
better
point.
be unhinged. Yeah, and that one's just a little novella, so that'll be fun. But that'll
Mhm.
kind of be the gateway into spooky season, if you will, because crows is
Yeah.
big around here. Yeah.
Yep. It's great.
And let's see. I feel like that's pretty much it. Any other news that is super important that we need to go over before we get into
I don't
what we're
know.
reading lately?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds
Cool.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get into, if you guys listen to the podcast, we always start off with a fave and fail, but over here on our lives, we like to kind of just give you a reading rundown of what we are reading at the moment. So, what are you
Yeah.
reading at the moment? What's all of the things that are floating around in your
Well,
brain right now?
I accidentally read 10% in of the Anna Green Gables, the eighth book. Luckily, I posted about it, and Liz was like, "How the heck did you finish the Valley, the seventh book already?" I'm like, "Oh crap!" Because I got both from Livy like around the same 24 hours, and so
Oh,
I forgot that I got one of them because they were both on hold.
yeah.
So, alas, luckily nothing got spoiled, which I don't know what that says about book 7, but hey. So now I'm 70% into book 7. So that it will be done soon. And
Same.
we'll be talking all about that on the Anne Green Gables series. You might be wondering, why are these, older ladies reading Anne Green Gables? Is that just a book for girls, little girls? Oh, I'm a change.
Mm,
My 10-year-old daughter is enjoying it for different reasons. I'm enjoying it, and everybody's enjoying it. We're all enjoying. It's so good. So I'm loving it. We'll talk about in our series, is it worth reading the entire series, or should you just
mm,
stick to the original like three trilogy, if you will? And then I also am reading House of Beating Wings. I wanna say I'm 15% in, like, page 70, I think I got to. So,
mhm.
I don't have a, like, opinion on it yet. It's quick enough. I just need to make time for it, you know? And then I had started, like, a couple different Kindle reads when I was on vacation. So, I started Poppy War just because Libby finally, like, released my hold, and I forgot that I could just delay it, but hey, here we are. And I really liked it, but I just don't think I'm gonna have time to read it, so I think I'm gonna have to return it. And then, the other one was the next Hazel Mack book, because 'cause we're reading the Haven After series, so we are having super fun time with that. I think I'm on vampires or something. I don't know. You're one
Uh,
ahead of me, so what was the last one you read?
the last one I read was book
Mhm.
4, which
Yeah, book
was
4.
Waltzing with Witches.
That's one, Waltzing with Witches.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so good.
So
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Love it.
it's good. Good time. What about you?
What am I reading at the moment? Okay, so I think I have about an hour left of listening time in Rainbow Valley. So again, that's Anne of Green Gables number
Mm.
7. Um,
So we're about
so
the same, I think, then.
yeah, yeah. So that's that. And then I'm like, what else am I even reading? Oh, I am reading Entity by Meg Smitherman, which I'm only like
Mm.
maybe 10% into that because I kind of had to put it on the back burner. But I did finish Thrum a while ago just to give it a shout out, and it was really good and I really enjoyed it. It's like horror sci-fi kind of with some like romance in there, so very unique and good. And then what else am I reading? Oh, the novella. So in the Haven Ever After series there's 8 full books and there's a novella in the
Mm.
middle, and so I am reading that one, and that one is Victory for Vampires, maybe. It's hard to
Oh,
remember
maybe
all the
that's where
titles of
I'm
all of these when they're
ah, yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously those are really good. I love that whole
Mhm.
series, so can't go wrong. That's by Hazel Mack. If you guys wanted to look that up, Haven Ever After series.
Mhm.
So yeah, and obviously I'm also reading House of Beating Wings.
The
I'm
spinning
about
plates.
yeah, exactly. I'm about 25% of the way in. I love it so far, so
Yeah.
I had to kind of like put it on the back burner to finish a couple things up this week for the podcast, but then I'll go right back to it because I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and I've heard nothing but good things from everyone who's read it that I know. So hey,
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
You say you're 70% in now?
No, no, no. I'm like 25% of the way
Mm.
in because I haven't
Oh,
had
okay,
a
okay, okay.
chance to read anymore. No, I
Yeah.
wish.
Yeah. I was like, "Dude, how'd you get the chance? Good for you." Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, no, I did start The Night and the Moth. But,
Okay.
yeah, I got a chapter in, like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode when we were talking about it, and then I had to pause it because we have to film the Anna Green Gables episode next Monday, so and then the live, I think we're gonna be doing the 2nd week of September, I think.
Hmm.
We'll let you guys know, obviously, but, yeah,
Exciting.
literally no thoughts yet. 1 chapter. I feel like I started 1 chapter of, like, 3 different books. I'm like, "Ah, I wanna read all the things.
I know.
Ah,
Same.
need more time." Yeah.
Same.
Mhm.
Okay. So before we get into any spoilers or anything like that, let's just give our one sentence review of A Curse
Mhm.
Carved in Bone and our star rating, shall we?
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay. So I will go first. Why not?
Okay.
Um, I enjoyed this book enough for its like entertainment value.
Mhm.
I didn't find it particularly life changing or unique, and therefore I rated it a 4 star.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good romantasy with some interesting. lore, but it wasn't like setting the world on fire. No pun intended.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
my opinion. And I would rate it maybe like a two spice, like very, very
Yeah.
mild. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
What about you?
I rated this 4 stars. Okay. I wrote these thoughts down shortly after finishing it. I was honestly not looking forward to reading this
Mm,
one just because, in book one, I've talked about this a lot. I felt like the main character, Feyre, or no, how do you say her name?
Freya.
Fi Freya, there we go. I wrote it as Freya, yeah. Freya, I felt like her personality kind of shifted and changed in the middle of the book, and it made me not like her.
Hmm.
So when book two started, I was having like a super hard time with her insufferableness, but hang in there, kitty. Friday's coming because all of a sudden everything changes and I ate it up. So
Huh.
it was like on a fast and hard track to go to three-star town, okay? And Miss Danielle Jensen made it all worth it. Everything, including how I felt about book one, like everything, it changed the game for me. So with that being said, still not a 5 star, not losing sleep over it, not like changing my life, but it made it, turn into a dull dud for me to like, oh, wow, I actually really enjoyed it and I can appreciate the journey now because of
Okay.
where it brought us.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not one sentence, but when are we ever one sentence?
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious now to talk to you about it because I feel like I almost feel not the opposite, obviously, because I still rated it a 4 star, but I feel like I actually started liking the characters less in book two.
Yeah, I mean, this is purely not based off of the characters necessarily. It's
Okay.
just the storyline for
Yeah.
me.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm. I don't wanna give
Oh,
things away because people get
yeah,
mad when certain tropes are mentioned, so
for sure.
I will not.
Well, I mean, we're about to get into the
Um,
spoiler section anyway,
yeah.
so
So, caca! Get on out of here if you do not wanna hear spoilers for A Curse Carved in Bone. Save this to your playlist. You can watch it on the replay later. As soon as we're done doing the live, it goes into the replay area. So, you can save it, watch it later, come on back yonder, hang out. But if you don't care about spoilers, stick around, and, if you're here because you read it, stick around too. Let's just
yeah.
go. Let's go,
Let's let's go. Okay, so Ashley and I
baby.
both accidentally did two truths and a lie. So
Yeah.
we're both giving each other a two truths and a lie. So that's cool. Why not?
Okay, let's do it. Mhm.
I like how I wrote it down in here still as three truths and a lie, even though we've established long ago that it's only two. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fine. All right. So you want to go first this time, or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead, just go. We'll just keep bouncing back. Good flow.
Okay. Like, am I frozen? No, my brain just short circuited.
Okay, great.
Okay. Freya is descended from the goddesses Lean and Hel. Okay, that's
Mhm,
one. Two, Harold is actually a child of Loki. And
mhm.
three, Bjorn and Freya travel with two wolves named Skull and Gorm.
Well, I don't remember the wolves' names, so I'm gonna say that's the lie.
That is definitely the lie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What did you say the names were? Scores and Vorge? What did you just say?
Skull and Gorm.
Oh,
Which
Gorm? Hmm,
Yeah, so it's Skull and Hati, but I did look up
mm.
traditional like Viking
Oh,
names, and Gorm is another one. So I am trying to stay
Gorm.
accurate. Yeah.
No, good for you. Way to research. Oh,
Yeah.
treasure box for you.
Okay, treasure box for
And for
you.
me, because I found the lie. So,
Yeah.
hey. Um,
Okay.
let's see. Here we go.
Okay. I'm ready. I don't remember anything about this
Okay.
book, so this should be entertaining. Are you actually frozen?
Oh no, am
There you
I?
are. Yeah, okay, you're back. Oh no, now you're frozen again. Oh no, I can't hear anything that you are saying or see you at all. Yes, now you're just very slow. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of hear you, kind of see you. Yeah, you're just like very, very laggy.
Hello?
Okay, I can see you again.
I just turned my Wi-Fi off, so I don't know.
Okay.
I just have to lean way over here. Great. Let me see if I can like inch it a little closer.
Okay. Yeah, I can see and hear you now, so that's great.
Okay, great. Okay, this is like the most awkward place I could be. Okay.
Okay, two truths
Let
and
me
a
just
lie.
lean on in. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sorry for the friggin' technical difficulties. Okay. The Spectre was Saga, Bjorn's mom, all along.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Number two, Bjorn also shares Loki's blood. Number three, Freya's brother apologized for his previous treatment of her. Which one's the lie?
Isn't it that Bjorn shares Loki's blood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's not Harold's son. I was like double guessing myself
It's
as I was looking at
so
these.
it's so like it's one of those things where it's like you think you understand and then you get two in your head and then it gets confusing
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with that is the lie because I wrote these down like right after. Because I'm like, if I don't write these down now, I'm not gonna remember whenever we do this
Well, that
live.
would be
Because I read it
gross.
like 3 weeks ago.
Well, that would be gross because Freya shares blood technically with Loki because Loki is related to Hel.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that would make her and Bjorn related.
Yeah. And it was really that Saga was pregnant with um what's his name all along, right? Or no, he was pregnant with with Harold's the real Harold's baby.
Yeah. Yeah, but then he
Yeah.
took over
Yeah,
Real
that's what it
Harold
was.
or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah. It was
the
crazy.
twisted
That's why it
webs.
makes it so crazy. That's why it makes
Yeah.
it so crazy. But that's
Well,
why I
because
loved
they
it. So that's why I loved it because it was
because of the
such a
twist.
spiderweb explosion. The twist is what saved it. 100%.
Spider-web
Still,
explosion.
yeah, like a good spiders. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it was
yeah.
definitely twisty and turny for sure. Like I didn't see a lot of
Yeah.
things coming, so that's good
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so two truths and a lie. We both get to choose something from the treasure box, so that's good.
Great.
Okay, so now we're entering the chaotic spoiler section where we recount the plot. So I have no idea how to do this because I remember so little. Okay,
Okay.
all
I
right,
know.
let's
Well,
try.
we're gonna time it, and we only get 10 minutes total between the both of us
Okay,
to
that's
do it.
fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
like, because listen, if you're listening to this, you've read it too, or you don't care. Or maybe you're gonna
You're
read
right.
it. Like maybe you're just hanging out for vibes. Like we get it. Um, so we got to do the best we can because we figure 10 minutes we should be able to get the job done. But you never
Yeah,
know.
we'll see.
So, all right,
One,
because
two, three,
it's
go.
chaotic. Go. Oh, we both
Okay,
timing it just to keep it accurate? Okay,
sure.
so okay, I'll start, even though I don't remember how it started at all. No, it started with Freya being insufferable on a ship
Yep.
because they had taken her from the last book and she was going with Bjorn begrudgingly and she was being annoying about everything. But like also I get it because everybody was lying to her the whole time. So they're kind of just trying to like make her chill out a little bit and they're taking her to a place. Then what happens?
Then, well, because she's with Bjorn and Harold, or who we think is
Yeah,
Harold, right, at this point.
and, like, his
Okay.
crew.
Yeah. And don't they get like swarmed by the Islanders at that point? Or is that later? See, everything is like completely mixed up in
That
my brain as
whole
far as like
yeah, I was not
chronological of
having a good
events.
time. Yeah, I wasn't having a good time at the beginning, so yeah, it all blends together.
It does blend together. Okay, so basically the next thing that I remember is that they get attacked by I think they're just called the Islanders. Like at this point it's not Snorri. It's like different people
Mhm.
and I did, like literally don't remember at all of what happens.
How
Like
about this? We
they
just talk about the important parts, because like, obviously, that wasn't that important,
well, but I
right?
feel like it was for some reason.
No, he they get to Harold's place. Well, because people are everywhere are afraid of her. They all think she's
Yeah.
gonna, like, take over everything, especially because she has these powers now of, like, pulling people into hell
Yeah.
and stopping them from being able to go to Valhalla, as the Viking warriors want to do. So, they got to Harold's, like, place, and Harold told them that his mother was still alive,
Mhm.
and well, sh yeah, so he was like, I'm gonna go talk to her in a couple days. You can wait for me because she didn't want to go with Bjorn, but she's like, I need answers right now. So fine, I'll go with Bjorn. And then they start traveling up to see his mother, which she
Mhm.
doesn't know is like the saga and every well, because she's not. But so she goes up to see Bjorn's mother.
Yeah, to
And then
basically
what
find
happened?
out if, like, as a seer or whatever you want to call her, like as a
Yeah.
seer, if she can come up with a different way to fix this problem aside from Bjorn essentially killing Freya and his or what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Uh, his
Snorri, Harold.
Harold. Okay, so Harold is like, so here's the deal. If she doesn't foresee that this could go another direction, I'm going to kill her. And Bjorn's
Mhm.
like, okay, but just so you know, you're gonna have to kill me too. And they're like, okay, great. And that's basically like where
Yeah.
they leave it. So then yeah, they
Yeah.
go and see Saga, and Saga basically says, like, I foresee, Freya essentially causing the deaths of like hundreds upon hundreds of people and it can't be avoided kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
that's what's going to happen. um and she suggests that they just kind of like leave, like that they kind of like
Yeah.
flee and like run away. But obviously they're not going to do that. So what's the next thing that happens to get them to like essentially leave Saga's place? I don't really remember.
So they kind of like get, the answers, even though she doesn't want those answers. They go back, they meet up with, like, I know at one point that one girl, that lady that sings all the song truths, like, is around. So
Yeah.
something happens with her. Like, they're just finding little bits of information from people. Like, basically, everybody has a kind of life debt to Harold. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a key thing, too, including the person that sings the songs. So, I mean, pretty shortly thereafter, though, we kind of find out that Harold has been messing with everybody all along and
Hmm.
isn't really Harold. That's when the big twist moment comes, and we only got, 6 minutes to explain all of that.
Well, I feel like because what ends up happening is they end up trapped on that island because and
Oh,
then
yeah.
well yeah, they end up trapped on the island and literally Bjorn kills Snorri with
Yeah,
his
oh,
fire
yeah.
axe. And then they get
Yeah,
trapped
that was
in
crazy.
the ward
Basically, like,
circle.
manipulated into doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
And so he kills him with the axe because he thinks that he's been, double crossed and all this kind of stuff. And then that's when they find out that actually it's Harold because he tries to disguise himself as Saga and then is
Mhm.
basically like reveals himself in this like great thing where he's like, I've been tricking you all by basically
Yeah.
pretending to be Snorri and pretending to be Saga and essentially tricking all of these people to like follow him by like orchestrating their doom.
Mhm.
Like if that makes
Yeah.
sense. That actually reminded me a lot of oh, I don't want to give anything away. Of another dark romance that we read where like it was like a diabolical, like people were ending up in these situations with a person they thought they were working for good, when in reality those situations they were in were because that person was like killing their whole family, and then that's how they ended up there.
Oh, yeah,
So yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, basically we
yeah,
find that out, and then they end up trapped on the island
yeah,
in the circle of runes,
mhm, yeah,
right? Oh, and
yeah.
then okay, so how does she get out of the
Well, then
circle of
she,
runes?
yeah, well, because she's not only trapped there, she this is what happens when you wait 3 weeks to do a live. She she figures out, and now I don't remember why, but she figures out she can go down to hell and, like, summon those people because she's a daughter of hell, so she has a lot of power as well. I mean, and she has another
The specter
bloodline
told
as
her.
well. Yeah, so the
Yeah.
specter, you know, was just as Freya had thought in the first book, it was Bjorn's actual mother, which was that whole storyline was crazy though, because um Harold had like done his great grand villain reveal and like said everything. So basically, there was the Bjorn's mother was, in a kind of love triangle between Snorri and Harold, the real Harold though, right?
Yeah.
And had to choose. The Harold that pretended to be her was like, oh, she's kind of like, kind of slut shaming her a little bit, and was like,
Yeah.
oh, she just wanted to sleep around, whatever, because he was jealous that she didn't pick him. And well, anyway, she actually wanted to be with Snorri all along. And then so that storyline was manipulated. And then Harold killed the mother and set it up to look like Bjorn accidentally killed her because Snorri was coming after them.
Yeah, it's
But
like
he
a
was
whole
everybody.
orchestration to get
It's
all
so
of these
crazy.
unfated people with powers to
Yeah,
be loyal to him. That's what it was.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unfated people. Exactly. Because otherwise, if you're fated, there's nothing you can do to change your timeline, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she gets out of that island because she figures out that she can pull out that army and come
With her
out,
dead
and then
brother, her zombie
with her dead
brother.
brother, which was crazy. They
That
make
was
amends, which was nice because he was such an asshole in the first book. I could not stand him. And it wasn't like a one and done. It was like a which I really appreciated from Danielle Jensen, that it was like a continual like conversation that they had together throughout the last half of the book. At least 3 times I can remember them discussing their issues and what happened and the stuff with her mom, because her mom was a jerk too. So then they get out of there, and then meanwhile, Harold is still in disguise, and now he's acting as Snorri and Harold again, and then
to act like
manipulating
they're
his
working
people
together.
still.
Hmm.
Yeah, because now he wants the full takeover, so he's trying to get Snorri's people on board with him too. And then they send off one of his, like, right wing person to go make sure she's good and dead, and she's not. So she basically gets to his next layer, as it will be like kingdom, and is trying to infiltrate that fortress,
Well,
and is
because
in the
Bjorn
sewers at one point.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
1 minute.
Because Bjorn is being held hostage as
That's
a
right, that's why.
trade for
Mhm,
the other lady's son, for Snorri's wife's
mhm.
son, his half
Yeah,
brother Leaf, I think his name is. So
yeah.
yeah, so she basically goes to, yeah, like burn it down or whatever, like disrupt it, steal him back and whatnot, and ends up
Well, she also has, yeah, they have a price on her head too,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that if she shows up, she's gonna be killed too. So they're threatening to kill. So they're spreading the rumors about Bjorn being executed, but then she's gonna be executed also if she gets caught. It's
Well, they
crazy.
said she would be executed with a swift death, but then Bjorn would be exiled, is what they said would happen. Yeah. Oh, is
Yeah,
it time already? Yeah. Well, we tried.
almost. We're at
We're
13.
almost
Oh,
there.
10
So
seconds.
then she ends up breaking him out, but then realizes once they get out through the sewers and they're down over the waterfall that it is actually Harold again.
Yeah,
Surprise.
yeah.
And so then Bjorn shows up and they battle Harold in his, I don't know, monstery form, right?
Yeah. Basically,
Um,
yeah. Then he fully reveals his like bloodline, I think at that point, right? Then we find out he's the son of
yeah,
Loki,
yeah.
like a direct. So that's like extra mischievous. And he just does it for like shits and giggles.
And so
Yep.
they end
Basic, but I
up,
like that they defeated him not with like easy like stab.
yeah,
I appreciated
yeah.
that.
Well, yeah, they dragged him to hell, right?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. She
Um,
dragged him to hell. And it
yeah,
was basically like whoever dies the first in hell is dead and dead.
yeah. Well, and
Try
then
to outlive.
she almost died too.
Yeah.
Right? Like she kind of had a near death experience where she was actually going to get to go to Valhalla. And she was like, I'm not ready yet. And then she claws her way
Mhm.
back up through the stuff, and then Bjorn pulls her out in this
Yeah.
like dramatic
Mhm.
scene or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and then that's pretty much the end, right? And then they kind of go retire,
Yeah.
and then they're like,
Yeah.
just kidding, fake out epilogue, we're
Yeah.
not retiring. We're going to go fight
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Okay, well, with that being said, because I thought this was just supposed to be a duology, and maybe it will be, but maybe she left it open-ended just to see.
Just in
Will
case. Yeah.
you continue reading if another one comes out?
Yeah, I will because I don't think there will
Mm.
be because I'm pretty positive she said this was the end. But I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Authors change stuff all the time. Yeah, I'll read it for sure because I'm a Danielle Jensen fan. I'll scream it from the
Yeah.
rooftops till forever. I don't understand why this duology got so hyped and Bridge Kingdom just got left behind in the dust. I don't get it because Bridge Kingdom to me is
Yeah.
way better. But like, I don't know, whatever.
I think
Um,
it's the timing of it, honestly. I think it's because Bridge Kingdom came out a while ago. You know,
yeah,
the recovering is helping a lot. I'm seeing it a lot more on people's recent purchases.
yeah,
And
for sure.
then, you know, Fading to Blood came out just last year when everybody was right before everybody did special edges at Target.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think it was the shiny metallic edges, you
Yeah,
know?
probably.
It gets people's attention. It gets the people going.
Yeah. Well, I
Now
feel
they're a dime a
like
dozen, so it's gonna be harder for people to succeed that way, I feel.
it's true. I got a really pretty copy
Yeah.
of A Fatington Blood from Fairy Loot. I love that has like art
Mhm.
of them on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like, first of all, I feel like we did a pretty good job with that summary, even though neither of us
Yeah,
remembered anything, and it was 3 weeks ago that we read.
not
So
bad. We didn't I
not
mean, we
bad,
went
not
10
bad.
seconds and 10 minutes, 30 seconds, we'll
Yeah, it's not
allow it.
bad. Yeah, so we'll try harder next time. We'll get better each time.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
maybe not. I will say one of the things that I did really appreciate was that I felt like the kind of Norse mythology piece was really unique and very interesting.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
really liked that. So, it's kind of something a little bit different because there was magic, but it was like, yeah, it was just more on the mythology side than like
Yeah.
just straight up fantasy side, in my opinion. And so I liked it. It was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you and I plus anybody else too that isn't super familiar with Norse mythology, if we knew it better, it would have been a little bit easier to remember like all the names and
Mm,
pieces of the puzzle too, because
yeah.
she does do a lot of tie-ins. So, like I know
Yeah.
Loki because of Loki,
Yeah. Like
Marvel,
Marvel Loki.
Loki.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not the real one. Obviously it's taken the same way as like inspiration too, but it's very different. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did like that. I thought that it was a cool, like, new, fun
Mhm.
take that I haven't read really
Yeah.
anything like it. So that was neat. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so let's
Yep.
see here. So we have our timed blind questions planned. We've got five each.
Mhm.
Okay. You want to just do rapid fire? You give me the five and then I'll give you the five, or what? You want to go
Okay.
back and forth?
Sure.
Okay.
I
So we
mean, we
get
never
30
need the full
seconds
30
to
seconds.
answer, though. You
Oh, you
only get
never need the
max
30
30
seconds.
I'm a
Okay.
definitive lady. I usually know the answer to how I feel right away.
I know, and I'm a rambler. Okay.
Okay,
I
I'm
have the 30
ready.
seconds on for you. Okay.
All right.
And I'll start the timer once I finish saying it. Okay.
Okay, great. I
After
was worried.
all Okay, so after all the facts that we have now, so both books, 1 and 2,
Okay.
about Harold. Smash or pass, defend your answer.
Harold? Smash or
Yeah.
pass Harold?
Mhm.
I'm gonna say smash because why not?
Okay. You wanna
Um,
defend it more than that?
no, not really. Like, I mean, dude's got
Okay.
powers and he's mischievous like Loki. We all love the Marvel Loki, so that's kind of what I started
Yeah.
picturing in my head. Like once we kind of knew what was going on, so that's
Hey,
all I need. I don't need to defend it more than that.
that's all you can say. Good, because
Yeah,
your time is up. Um, I'm gonna
you made
answer
me
too.
elaborate.
Um, yeah. No, for sure. I would say pass only because what I pictured as soon as they said that was like a
Oh,
guy,
really?
like a weird, skinny, like fiery, like hopping around weirdo. So that's a pass for me.
I love that you didn't picture Loki, even though we were just talking about how
Yeah.
that's what we thought of.
Well, I mean, I think of like that. That's the only like frame of reference I have, more so is
Oh,
what I mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
Like
was
I
picturing
did think of
someone.
that, but I couldn't picture that because he was also sly and cool. I don't know. This guy seemed boisterous and outlandish, you know? Haha, look at
Oh,
my evil plans all along. So that's how my tone in my head was. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I ruined
Love
it
it.
for myself. I do it to myself.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Um, okay. Did you see the major twist coming?
No, nope,
Okay.
I didn't. I had no.
Explain your ignorance. Just kidding.
Explain I had no clue that I really thought Saga was Saga. I really thought Snorri was Snorri and they had this rivalry. I like did not at all see like never in a million years would I guess like, oh, he's a son of Loki and this is like all a scheme. No,
Yeah. Never saw it? That's crazy.
it was crazy.
Perfect
It was a
timing.
good twist. It was a good
Yeah,
twist.
it was. It was
Mhm.
good. It was good. Okay. Is Bjorn book boyfriend material? Why or why not?
For me personally, I would say no. He
Mhm.
annoyed me to no end in this book.
Mhm.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know that this is really part of my answer, so I don't know if I need to be timed right now. I'm just gonna say one of the
Oh,
things
I'm gonna.
one of the things that we missed talking about was that she had the blood oath to Snorri, but what
Oh
that really
yeah.
meant is that she could basically take orders from Bjorn as well because he shared Snorri's blood.
Mhm.
And so I
Yeah.
got increasingly more and more angry at him for being an idiot and not just doing the right thing and basically like helping her out. I don't know. I just felt like the whole I refuse to make you do anything, even if it's for the greater good and your own good, really bothered me.
Yeah, it's like I'm asking you to force me to do like just say that I'm doing it. Then it's still my idea.
Yeah,
You dummy.
exactly.
It's like 2 dummies. It was just watching 2
Two
dummies run
dummies.
around with, like, fire axes and fire
Yeah.
shields.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
No.
loved the plot, loved the twist. That's why for me, I don't know if I'll keep reading because I do not like the characters.
Yeah.
I don't like
So
them.
when you mention that, see, in the first book, I was willing to give the characters room to grow because I knew that it was going to be at least 2 books. And so
Mhm.
I was giving the benefit of the doubt. I was like, Bjorn's not my favorite, but like, we'll see where he goes because he's not bad either. He's whatever. And then
Right.
Freya, I was like, okay, well, she had like a fish monger's wife's life and like now she's like
Yeah.
literally having to like do all this crazy stuff, so obviously she's going to have a fairly significant character arc as well. And then in this book I felt like they just spent like 3/4 of the book bickering like idiots, and
Yeah.
it just made me dislike them more and more. And like I don't like it when like someone is so stubborn that they are like, what is it, like you can't see the forest for the trees. It's like you
Mhm.
are willing to cause everyone, including yourself, turmoil just because that is the hill you're going to die on, even though it would be better to
Yeah.
just stop. So I was like, I
Yeah.
don't like that. So for that very long reason, Bjorn annoys me and isn't the worst, but also would not get added to my list of book boyfriends.
It's the part that I struggle with is that we were off to such a good, strong start with book 1.
Mm.
Like, he was
Mhm.
great at the very beginning, it was very, like you get the Viking, but it also felt like OG, like, fairy tale renaissance, like, movie with the silly banter and the tension, and he seemed great and suave, and then he just got, like, super annoying and just, like, my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bummer.
Yeah,
Bummer, dude.
honestly,
Okay.
like, I think my favorite character from this whole book, book 2, was her brother.
Yeah,
Like like
because he
zombie
actually, like, had growth.
guy. Yeah, exactly, and
Yeah.
was, like, interesting. I also loved that he was, like, going to battle with, like, pieces of his, like, body falling off. It was,
And
like,
I
very
liked that he was like go ahead.
it was very, like, Billy from Hocus Pocus is what I pictured, just like
That's great. Oh my gosh. That's
but
so
hey,
good.
he came through,
Yeah.
you know?
Um, yeah, so I also liked that they asked him if he wanted to go see his wife, and he's like,
Aw.
"No, I look horrifying. I don't want their memory of me to be scaring them literally to death, but, like, thanks." So the self-awareness, you guys, the bar is low. Like, having some self-awareness.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Top
yeah.
notch. Alright,
Okay,
next question. Did you
ready.
change your mind about how you felt about Snorri after everything was revealed?
Yeah, it kinda sucked for him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
he deserved to get fire axed or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, obviously our opinion changed because we found out it was all a scheme.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
exactly. I was like,
can't
"Oh,
really
man, all
blame the
that
guy,
hate."
like, he was duped too,
He's
you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Beautiful. Did book 2 affect change the wait, sorry. After reading book 2 I'm just gonna let it go. Not that
Okay.
this, like, actually matters. Okay, there we go. After finishing book 2,
Yeah.
did that affect or change your rating of book 1 now that everything is laid out?
No, they're still both a
Okay.
4 star. Like I said before,
Yeah.
like they're not changing my life. They're not setting the world on fire, but they're entertaining enough and I enjoyed them. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about you?
beautiful. I think it did. I'm pretty sure I rated the last one 3 stars.
Mm,
So, if I didn't rate it then 3 stars, I would've, after I slept on it a couple of months, I would've changed it to 3 stars. Um, but I would change it to 4 stars now because the story is complete, and I have
mm,
all the information.
yeah.
So,
Mhm,
that happens sometimes. So,
mhm.
there you go. That's mine. What do you got for me?
Okay. I'm like, let me see here. All right, I'm ready. If you like these questions I wrote today. Okay. If you could travel through the dirt and roots to visit Helheim for an hour, would you?
Uh, what was in Helheim that I wanna see?
I don't know, just would you like to go under the ground and see all the stuff down there?
No,
No?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, for sure. It's like to me that was the most like interesting part of the whole entire book.
Oh, okay.
I like the
Travel
like
through the dirt
different
and stuff?
yeah, the dirt and the roots. I just dropped
Yeah.
a piece of my
I do
timer.
like a
Someone
good soil. Oh, no. Great.
I like a good soil.
Like a good rich soil when you're, like, gardening and it's, like, not the, like, potting soil, not the, like, manure soil, but, like, a good rich earthy forest soil. So that's what I picture when they talked about that and, like, the good wet roots. Like, as a kid when you're, like yeah, building forts in the woods, you know?
No,
Anyone?
that
Anyone?
was not what I was concerned about. I was more so like it would be cool to visit another realm. Not really like, ooh, the dirt would be so nice feeling.
The way you described it just now, would you go through all of that to get to that?
Well,
Like,
because
that
it
sounds like
lets
the
you
best part to me.
It seemed like tumultuous to have to like drop down. It seemed very tumultuous to have to drop down through like all of the dirt
Mhm.
and all of the roots to get down there. But then once you're down there, you get to see like the gates to Helheim, and you get to see like the zombie people, and like she gets to talk to Hell. I thought that was all very cool.
I don't wanna see the zombie people with the skin
I,
falling off. You do have a thing for the Fallout guy though, so I get it. Good for
I
you.
mean, and honestly, like they were really nice. They were cool.
It's true. It gives me, like, what dreams may come,
Yeah.
like, in the bad way where the souls are like, "Take me back,
Yeah,
ah!" It's like,
kind
"Leave me
of.
alone." So,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Uh Next question.
Okay.
Smash or pass the goddess Hell?
Um, Smash, 'cause why not, I guess, too. There you
Yeah.
go.
She
Sure.
seemed cool. She has a lot of
Yeah, cool
powers.
enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, she was a little pissed that like Freya took her zombies, but like I feel like
Yeah.
that was kind of warranted, you know? She's like, I already gave you
Yeah.
powers. Like, can you just leave me alone until you're ready to come down here? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But I did like her character. I thought she was cool. Oh,
Yeah.
so the Scald, her name is Steinen, because we were
Oh,
not
okay.
remembering that. Okay, next
Yeah.
question. Would you like to have Steinen's powers, her singing powers?
No.
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 Hmm.
No. I'm
Why not?
good. I don't know, man. Like, people are, like, using her everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Go
Hmm.
listen to these people's stories and sing them. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's like, but she holds
So,
people like in a trance. I think it's kind of interesting, but I also would not want her powers because I feel like
mhm.
it's not really
Everybody
like a
kinda hates her too because of it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, because really the only way that that power is useful is if you are using it to propagandize people. Because otherwise, like, what is the point of it? Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I agree.
Or you're a live living recording device, you know, because 'cause you're just parroting what you see and saw and heard.
Yeah. I
So,
guess she could use her
yeah.
powers for good by just like writing poetry and whatnot, but you can't make a living
Yeah.
that way probably back then very easily,
Yeah.
especially as a woman. Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. This is very similar to the question you asked me. I actually wrote this. Be honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, how smashable is Bjorn?
Okay. Scale of 1 now? 2.
He's a 2 in smashability. Okay. Question
Yeah.
part B of this question. How annoying is Bjorn on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being the most annoying or the
Yeah.
least?
Yeah.
Okay. 9,
9.
easily.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree
That's why
exactly
he's
with
a
that
2.
assessment. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's not
He annoyed
redeemable.
me. I
Yeah.
don't, that is literally, I think, one of my biggest freaking pet peeves in people in general in real life, but also in characters. When it's like you literally, because of this weird principle you have, will stab your own self in the foot. You know what I mean? Just to like make a point.
Yeah.
I
When
can't.
she's stubborn to, like, an excess and annoying child way, and then he's dumb as rocks.
Yeah.
So you can't get anywhere with
You
that.
can't. I
You know what
know.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't help get her out of that, and so they just stay in this annoyingness forever and ever.
Yeah. So, okay, so my fifth question was did you see the ending coming? Okay, so we already talked about that. So I put an extra one in here just in case we had a duplicate. That's just kind of funny.
Mhm.
Okay. This is more like a non-opinion. This is a quiz question to see if you were
Okay.
paying attention. Okay.
Okay,
Who
great.
who or what is Yggdrasil? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that even remarkably correct.
Great. Is it the other part of, Freya's blood? Because now I don't remember who the other part was.
No, it was Hiln or Lean and Hell. So Lean
Oh,
was
okay.
the healing portion.
Egress Hill?
Yeah, kind of. Yggdrasil. So
Yggdrasil. Is that the fortress? One of the
Yggdrasil.
fortresses they went to?
No, but closer.
Okay.
You want me to tell you, or do you
Is
want one more
that
guess?
where fake Saga was?
No.
Okay, great. Okay.
It is the official name of the roots.
The roots? Okay, see, you're like, okay, weirdo with the roots in the soil. And here you are talking about the roots again.
I
It's
had
the
to
roots
throw
though
you off.
yeah. Yeah, totally. Is it the roots that like come up and pull them down into
Yeah.
hell specifically? Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a
What is
name
it
because they're like,
called
I guess,
again?
kind
Mm.
Yggdrasil. So Yggdrasil. I don't know. Something like that. Doing my
Yggdrasil.
best. Yeah,
Great.
exactly. I like that. That sounded a little French, though.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how Vikings sound. Yggdrasil. No, that's that's even more French.
Ew. Just like
That
angry
sounded
French.
like the candelabra.
Yeah.
Yggdrasil, suck my blue. I don't know how Vikings sound. I need to watch that show, Vikings.
Maybe a
Oh,
little more
oh,
like
it's
on the
like
Scottish side.
Swedish almost, right? Scottish?
It
Vikings,
sounds
I thought
Scottish
were
in my head.
Swedish-ish.
I don't
Oh,
know. Obviously,
listen,
we
we're
don't
not here for geography lessons, so
know. No. Look it up.
we're
Google it
fantasy
like we're
readers.
doing
We don't know
today.
anything
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. That was great.
Here
That was
we
great
go. That
fun.
was great.
Here we
Okay.
go. Let's start this
So,
live now.
yeah. Um, do you have any reviews from book club that people left?
So Liz and I were talking about this real quickly. I think a lot of people might have DNF'd this book. We had a lot of fallout in the fable. So these were probably the least amount of reviews that we had. And only one written review was left. So the majority of the reviews were 3 stars. I saw some
Mm,
3.5ers and maybe a few fours. No five
okay.
stars, no 1 stars, but that's the first time no 5 stars I think were left. Specifically Trish, Romantasy Guy, they both left, I think, a 3.5, something like that. I forgot to send them to my laptop and my phone. It'll mess up the live, I think, if I try to send it. Fantasy with Me did leave a review about it, and I was gonna read it off, but I forgot to send it to myself. I'm so sorry, and it doesn't let me log in from the desktop because technology is stupid. So thank you so much for leaving reviews, you guys. We appreciate it so much. If you want to check out Fantasy and Me's thorough rant review, it was great. So go
Oh,
on
really?
Fable
Okay.
and look up Besties and the Book Club. If you have access to it, maybe you can do it. Do you have it on the iPad or
I
no?
don't have it on my iPad.
Fable.
No.
Yeah, it's so annoying. That's so
Wait,
silly. Okay,
maybe I
but I
do.
do
Hold on.
have Audible. Okay.
Hold on.
Well,
I'm kind of
I'll read some
curious.
Audible while you look it up.
Okay.
Or is it going to take you a while? Because you have to log in and
Uh,
everything, right?
no, I just forgot that I like put it on here recently so that I wouldn't have to look at my phone.
Yeah.
So actually, I can probably pull it up right here. All right, here we go. Reviews.
And my tea's cold. Okay. Yeah. Find
Yeah,
fantasy with
fantasy with
me.
me. Okay, so Heather says, what does she say?
Because
Three
I think
stars.
she liked the first book a lot, I
I don't
think.
know. I don't know about
Oh,
that.
maybe not.
Okay.
Okay. We'll read it. Let's find out. Maybe she
Let's find out.
discusses.
It took 1.5 books for me to enjoy this.
Okay. So
And
never
by
mind.
the end battle, I was back to struggling. I can't get past how many terrible decisions Freya makes. The prose is super long winded and forced at times, while other times it brings me straight into the Vikings TV show. So I was able to overlook it most of the time, but the last chapter before the epilogue was all the speeches got to me. And then the epilogue, all of that whining and crying and swearing she would never do this again, just to immediately do this again. Freya is my least favorite FMC so far in my reading career. Wow, that's high
Yeah.
praise. Just kidding. Though she did finally have a badass moment when she raised the dead. I did like that too.
hmm
When she embraced who she was. But the son of Loki, whoever he was originally, was far more interesting. My favorite part in the first book was the banter between Freya and Bjorn. And we didn't get much of that here because she was either throwing a hissy fit or they were separated. my fourth book by this author, I think she's not for me. So, hey, you
Mm,
know,
yeah.
not everything's for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, but I agree with a lot of those points.
Yeah, same.
So,
Same.
there we
Especially the
go.
character problems, character props.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little bit of
Yeah.
context before you get into, ooh, I almost knocked this down. I've been kicking stuff over lately. Before you get into Audible, so on Goodreads, there's 37,854 ratings as of when I checked this earlier, with a 3.96 average. Um,
Mm.
so as
But,
we've
like,
talked about
anytime it goes
before,
below yeah, if it goes
for
below 4, that usually means not getting good.
yeah, or a
Ooh.
very like niche. Like either it's gonna be something that you love or something you hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did you listen to any of it on Audible? Like did you do any audiobook for it?
Oh, yeah, we forgot to talk about that. I think I physically read, like, at least a third of it, and then I had to switch over to audio because I could not stand what I was reading, and I said, "F this, I'm switching to Audible."
Oh, that's right. I remember you
So,
telling me that. Uh-huh.
yeah, I could not do it. So and then that helps me with the name pronunciations and stuff too, kind of. Not that they
Yeah.
stick. So, yeah, I
I
switched
read
to
all
audio.
of mine either physical book or Kindle. So I didn't do any audiobook. What
Mhm.
did you think of the audio?
Um, it was fine. I no notes, you know?
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, it didn't make me, like her character more, you know?
but I
The
mean, like, were the
voices
voice
fit.
actors good? Was it a duel or was it one? Like, what was it?
I don't yeah, it was dual. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It actually made the voices very much fit the people.
Oh, okay.
Take with that what you will.
Okay. So they were annoying too.
I don't know. Like, they were young. They sounded young.
Oh,
So,
okay. Hmm.
you know what I mean? Even though they weren't like, the voices were good, don't get me wrong. The voices were good, but because that paired with the personalities, I was just like, "Yeah, there you go." It was casted properly. Does that make sense? You know?
Did Bjorn sound like a hot Viking, or was he just kind of like, meh?
No.
Okay.
Sounded young, like a young dummy with an accent. The accent was
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
Like,
Was
"Oh,
it
I
Swedish?
my Freya." I don't know.
Was it French?
I can't
Was it
do
Scottish?
French. You gotta just listen to it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll
All
try to
right.
send you a snippet somehow. I don't think
Yeah.
you can do that, but maybe there's one on YouTube. It was fine. Whatever. It
Yeah.
was fine.
Okay. What were the reviews
Yeah.
on Audible?
Well, so overall, story got a 4.6 out of 5, and the performance was a 4.8 out of 5. So more people liked the narrators in the story, which I would agree with that assessment. The narrators did totally fine. They did a great job. But
Yeah.
the story, there's the characters for me. Let's go
Yeah.
with 1 star. There's only 2 1 stars left. So there's only 697 ratings so far on Audible. It came out about a month, I want to say, after the book release. So it hasn't been out as long, I don't think.
Okay.
Boring plot. The plot was boring. Typical. Characters lost the personality that I enjoyed from the
Yeah.
first book. And then somebody else says, great narrators, but the story is garbage. Loved the narration, as that's the only reason I listened as long as I did, but they did end up DNFing it because it had no plot and goals. Well, you end up getting into it, but still. You shouldn't have to get to 1.5 books to,
In a
like,
duology,
have
especially.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's, like, maybe some grace with the 8. Yeah, I mean, we have, 8-book series that take a while to ramp up, but it was hard. It was hard for me too. If fantasy with me, if you're watching, yeah, I get it. It was hard. I did not wanna read this book. But hey, it did redeem itself, but for me, it didn't redeem itself enough to read a 3rd one if it comes out, because then it's just like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a couple 3 stars. This person said, "Why did it need to be only 2 books?" So, 2nd book felt rushed. It felt like
Mm,
she wanted to close the story off so fast that she skipped over necessary parts of the story, leaving out important moments that were very needed. It could have really been 3 books. Loved the story, loved everything about it. I just think it needed more time to reach the ending. Felt more satisfying
mm.
as a reader, which is interesting because they gave it 3 stars.
I'm
So
hearing
hey,
across the board from people who liked it and didn't like it that there's pacing issues. I think that's the bottom
yeah,
line. Lots of
I mean, we
pacing issues.
literally can't remember between the 2 of us certain time like, we remember annoying in the beginning, some stuff happened, meets his mom, big reveal, killed a guy, happily ever after.
Yeah.
Annoying, come back, the end.
Yeah.
We could have summed it up in 30 seconds. 1 sentence or less. Yeah, because this person also says 3 stars, better than the first, book was entertaining. The twist, everybody's talking about the twist. That's the redeeming quality. If it didn't have that, oof,
Yeah.
oof.
That would have been
If it
rough.
waited
I
3 book
agree.
I disagree. If it waited till book 3 to reveal all that, she would have lost people. And maybe that's what
Yeah.
happened. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes with editing. They might have been like, "You're losing people."
Yeah.
Let's give a couple 5 stars on this though, because we got to be nice. Fantastically woven story from start to finish. This
There you
story
go.
is a phenomenal creation using Norse mythology. Ending of the story with this book leaves you feeling a completion, but also allows for the mind to wander about what could happen next. Narrators did a fantastic job pulling you directly into the world, and it continues. Um, I wasn't sure if this book was gonna be a last book or it was gonna be a trilogy, and I ended up re-listening to book 1 because I couldn't remember everyone's names. Plot twists were amazing, wrapped up the story nicely. Loved it.
Mhm. Okay.
There you go. So,
Yeah.
some people really loved it. Book was excellent. Fantastic story, gripping. Best read of the year thus far,
Different
someone
strokes
said.
for different folks, people. That's what that
There you
is.
go.
There you go.
So there you go. What do you got? I
So,
always
do
love
you,
your funny ones you find.
so I mean, I didn't do that this time because I don't do them
Oh,
for all the
okay.
time. What I did do,
Oh, it says on here that you did.
no, it doesn't.
Goodreads. It says
I said
discuss Goodreads
reviews
reviews. Oh, just
average.
the average rating. Okay, listen, I'm still trying to get a hang of the new template here, okay? They're more like guidelines than rules.
Yeah. No, what I am bringing to the
Yeah.
table. Okay, so first, do you feel like we've sufficiently, or to the best of our ability, covered A Curse Carved in Bone?
Yeah. There's nothing else to hit this
Yeah.
horse with, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're done. All
Yeah.
right, so we're moving on. Okay, so what I did
Okay,
bring to
great.
the
Goodbye.
table is,
It's a
out with
different
the old,
book.
in with the new, The Night
Yeah.
and the Moth, which is our August read.
Mhm.
So what we do at the end of our live
Mm.
is we share, because Ashley's only read what, a chapter of this, a
1
couple.
chapter.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've read
1.
none. I've read none so far.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is read you 3 1-star reviews about The Night and the Moth, and then we decide whether or not we're excited to read it based off of those 3 1-star reviews. So let us
Great.
begin.
Great.
Okay, Pam on Goodreads, 1 star. I would like to wash my eyes with acid. God, where to begin with this book? For the first half, I found it so utterly boring. I wanted to DNF so badly. The characters are thoroughly unlikable, and the dialogue made me want to throw myself off a cliff. Apparently, the love interests are supposed to be in their mid 20s, but I legit thought they were 15. They seem to aggressively
Ooh.
flirt for no real reason. Or is it supposed to be enemies to lovers or something? I have no idea. And that is endlessly annoying because of how bad the dialogue is. Okay, so it continues on, but there's spoilers, so I'm just sticking with the first paragraph. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that is review number 1. Review number 2
Okay.
is from Kendra on Goodreads. 1 star. Basic baddie goes to Middle Ages. We don't like violence, but kick everyone in the crotch. If I hear oi one more time, I'm gonna die. With hate from a high fantasy reader.
Ooh, okay.
I just love we don't like violence, but we're gonna kick everyone in the crotch. I'm like, no. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Third review, Rach Face on Goodreads, 1 star. I'm changing my review from 2 stars to 1 star as I cannot justify adding an extra star just because I like the gargoyle. This book was truly that bad. It is very hard to believe the same author that wrote this also wrote the Shepherd King duology. So that's one dark window.
Mm,
Okay, so
yeah.
based off those three reviews, what do you think? Excited? Not excited?
Honestly,
Curious?
okay. I mean, dude, I'm still curious.
Yeah.
But, like, let's say I was doing my TBR stack and I was like, "Let me just look up some reviews real quick." If I read those reviews, I'd be like, "Ooh, never mind, maybe not yet." Because it
Yeah.
sounds like, those things that drive us crazy, like immature, young love, like dummies, no thanks.
Yeah.
So, for that reason,
It
I would say no,
but that doesn't mean anything necessarily. Yeah.
but that
Disclaimer,
doesn't mean
doesn't mean
anything
um
because we are doing it and we are excited.
yeah.
Like, it's a hypothetical world.
What it kind of reminded me of is like if this is like an enemies to lovers, but the characters are insufferable and it's kind of like bickering and it tends towards more of a YA. I'm like, oh no, is this
Mhm,
giving Cruel Prince vibes?
mhm. Yeah,
Concern. But then I'm like, I feel like every time we read bad reviews and it's like the FMC is insufferable, I usually like them. So I'm like, I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know. Like I mean,
yeah,
when we were reading the one-star reviews of Shield of Sparrows, almost all of the one-star reviews were talking about how stupid the FMC was and that all she did was ask questions and like roam around like a dummy.
yeah,
And I loved that book and I loved her. So I don't know.
yeah, and mine didn't feel like she asked too many questions. Sometimes they don't ask enough, like, "What the hell's
Yeah.
happening?"
Yeah. Why are you okay
Find
with this?
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's true, you can't base a book only on the one-star reviews, but that's
It's
when I
true.
would usually again, on my TBR, I wouldn't be like, "Let me just look at the one-star review." You would go in and you would look at all of them just like we're doing right now,
Yep.
because you find out what are people complaining about, what are they not complaining about, what do they like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I'm curious now to look how pretty that cover is. So cool. I don't
yeah,
know.
so
Okay,
pretty.
so
I'm excited because everybody else is so excited and enjoying it, so
so
my
into
hopes are
it.
high.
My hopes are
Yeah,
high too. I feel like Rachel Gillig in the book community can kind of do almost no wrong. So I am excited because I think this is our both of our first of hers. So
yeah, yeah,
hop on the Fable chat at Besties in the Book Club if you guys are wanting to get on August's book. And
mhm.
then let's just
Ooh,
sign
my
off.
battery is about to die. Literally, don't move.
Okay.
Start signing off just in case.
Well, I was just going to say we're going to sign off with a smash or pass. Would we want to be her? And that would be Freya born in fire. And I would personally not want to be her. What do you think?
Hang on, my battery's about to die. Hang on. Freaking out because I don't want to lose the entire episode, and I just saw it have 1 star. Okay, okay, I got this.
Okay, crisis averted.
Barely. Oh
Barely.
my gosh. Okay, what did you say again? I just wanted you to make sure you signed off just in case.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No,
Smasher
we sign
Pass,
off with a
Freya
smash or
as the
pass.
FMC.
Yeah, like would we want to be Freya? And I said no because I
Oh,
would not be able to deal with Bjorn and all of this tomfoolery that's like happening all around me everywhere.
yeah, truly, truly hard pass.
Yeah.
Also, I don't wanna be like her in any way. I guess I could be me with all those powers, and I could kick Bjorn to the curb,
Yeah.
so there's
Yeah.
that. It's gonna shield him because I,
Yeah.
just shield him away. "Get out of here. Go on,
Steal his
get."
hammer and run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because she gets burned if she steals his hammer.
No, because she can shield
She's
herself
just
now. Remember?
No, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah. Which also we didn't talk about how she could learn to, like, shield other people. But that happened in the first book,
That was
right?
cool. But
Okay,
yeah, so as long as she
whatever.
shields her hand, she can wield his hammer. So I would just steal the
Yeah.
dude's hammer and just head out. Head down to Helheim through
Going on down
Yggdrasil.
Valentine.
And yeah, I mean, because that would be a cool power to be able to like go
Yeah.
through different realms and raise the dead. That would be cool, but that still would
Mhm.
not persuade me to have her life. Nope.
No.
Yeah,
No. So we're gonna go with a pass
a
on this
pass.
one. Yeah.
All right. I think
Yep.
that pretty much about sums it up.
That did? That did it does. There we go. We did it. 3
First
weeks in
carved in
between and
bone.
we did it. This curse is carved into my bone.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
All
That's
right,
what he
guys. Thank
said.
you so much. That's what he said. And that's what he said. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight with our unhinged chat about a curse carved in bone. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like listening to your favorite podcasts, including YouTube. We have a new episode that came out on Tuesday, which is covering all the like coming of age stories, buildings, Romans, if you will. And we open up that discussion for our Anna Green Gable series that launches this Friday. So make sure notifications are turned on. 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is when our episodes get released. And yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're at Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. Fable for the virtual book club, your antisocial social media book club, is Besties in the Book Club. So
Yep.
there you go. There you
All right,
go.
guys.
All right.
We'll
We'll
see
see you in
you
just a
then,
couple
or we'll see
weeks
you
because we
another
got to get to
time.
reading The Night and the Moth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll also see you in between. We'll just see you every day. Okay. We'll see you guys later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I don't remember how to turn this off. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here we go.